Makina, concentrate all fire on that tsundere. Distance to target 70 meters. Wind from the right to left. Up 3, right 2. Target movement speed estimated 4 kilometers per hour. Adjust your windage to 2 millimeters further to the right. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Don't aim for the head. Smack it right into that meager little chest. You got that? She looks so happy. Ready? Ready? Steady, steady, fire! Having successfully eliminated the menace of pseudo-Sendere invasions, we proceed to mess around blowing imaginary holes in various targets through precision mouth gun snipe. Wait, hold on! Hold on! Hold the fucking phone!
マーキナ、あんた晩ご飯食べ終わったんならさっさとお風呂入っちゃいな。私も後からすぐに行くから先に行ってなさいな。
Are we under the impression that Michiru died?
日焼けした。顔面と肩がめっさ痛いのよさ。
That is exactly what happens when you get sunburned. Now get all...
日焼け止めもしないで一日中外で遊んでるからでしょうが。
Man, I only get sunburnt when I'm in the pool. That's literally the only time, which is why I never go in a pool. Actually, I don't ever go in a pool because I like to stay inside.
だって日焼け止めしても汗ですぐ流れちゃうんだものよ。
Not with the crazy sunblock we got nowadays.
楽しかった？ああ、こっさ楽しかった。
As long as Makina's driving, fuck you, sweetheart.
ごっさか。そりゃかなり楽しかったみたいね。何して遊んだの？
Don't tell her anything. Don't tell mommy anything. Keep it all secret.
ね。
She's like, ooh,
うわっぶね。誘導尋問に引っかかるところだったのよさ。イリスマキナ、美浜学園所属、学籍番号4番、1月13日生まれ。
Makina, calm down. You're gonna blow your cover.
ん？なに？どうしたの急に？
I literally just asked if you were having fun.
敵の捕虜になったら名前と認識番号と生まれた日しか教えちゃいけないんだってパパが言ってた。捕虜ってね、別に拷問してまで聞き出そうとは思ってないわよ。
It's like, fuck.
いいからお風呂入ってきなさい。
Fuck, man. You know what? I just want to know what you're doing, but just go take your bath already.
了解。 まったく。
My little soldier's growing up.
おっといけねえ。アヒル持ってくの忘れるとこだったのよさ。
You need the duck?
ああ、もうアヒルはいいけど他にはおもちゃを持ってっちゃダメよ。
Don't carry all of your toys in there. And there she goes.
まったく元気なのはいいんだけどさ。さてと、それじゃあ早速マキナの日記でもっと。
Don't look in there again. Stop it. It's okay. She uses cryptic language.
ってあれ？あの子、日記帳どこにしまったのよ。さっき書いてたんだからそんなに奥にはしまい込んでないわよね。
That'd be pretty fucking funny if it was in my possession now.
あ、やだもん。またこんなところに脱ぎ散らかした靴下しまい込んで。一度履いたらちゃんと洗濯に出せっての。もうつーか日記帳はどこよもう。
She's getting irritated. She's getting irritated. See, the dialect will come out.
お、あったあった。これこれ。
Damn it. I was hoping I'd have it for some reason.
なになに？本日の日付はと。あったあった。どれどれ？
She's actually able to figure out what we did from her diary. I'm done diddly fucked.
今日はパパと一緒にプリンキングごっこをして遊んだ。ゲロッサ楽しかった。
It was hella fun.
おーゲロさ
Wait, she'd picked out what I picked out of that sentence, but I thought she'd pick out the other thing.
まあきっとメッサの最上級のことなんだろうけど、それより何これ、これがプリンキング？
It's oh my god.
わしがプリンの王様、プリンキングじゃーって。もう何よこれ。モギタンの次はプリンキング？
You know, I could figure out what the fuck Makina's talking about, but I just kind of shut my brain off to it and just let the story go. And when it comes to Makina's words, anyway.
っていうか、なんだかもうほんと全然意味がわかんない。あの子は一体ユージと一緒に何してんだろう。
I think it'd be more accurate to ask, what am I doing with that girl? Oh god, that made it sound weird. Triton and Purin King were the best of friends. They spent many carefree days playing together in a deep dark forest rumored to be haunted by goblins. One day, Tuna Fish Man abruptly appeared before them. While vigorously disemboweling himself with a gleaming knife, he spoke thus. Hodo! It seems Amine was tormented by this remarkably surreal dream, ultimately leaping to her feet and yell, "What the hell now?" To no one in particular. A sad tale, although I fail to see why she complained to me the next morning. I regret none of my actions. So I look up at the sky. Elderly people are fond of the phrase experience as much as you can while you're young. But it's apparently somewhat rare for youngsters to genuinely understand those words. It's not only until you're older when you realize what your parents told you when they were like, enjoy being a kid while it lasts. Cause then you're fucked. Life fucks you in the asshole. Like, you know, it's gonna happen. I'm something of a special case. I've seen much more than most people my age. Hell, I think I'm on the world-weary side of things. But even so, sometimes a small discovery or brief comment will completely overturn what I thought I once knew. Experience is the most valuable form of knowledge, the survivor's greatest prize. Repeatedly experiencing something until you know it inside out is worthwhile. So is seeking out new experiences and widening your horizons. And this time, Makina opted for the latter. I don't think it's anything more complicated than that. Oh, Makina. God, it even gives me a full view of the sky.
ねえ、マキナ、本当に行かないの？うん、今年はパパと一緒に過ごすのよさ。
Oh shit. Hamane's gonna go to her grandmother's house, and Makina's gonna stay here with me. And that's when the shit's gonna get real, I feel like. Just this morning, Makina declared that she would be spending her summer vacation in the dorm rather than accompanying Amine to Kyoto for the second time. Apparently, this last-moment change of plans was announced just as Amine was preparing breakfast today, and it came as such a shock that the girl dropped her kitchen knife to the floor dramatically. Not the best time to tell someone.
何度も聞くようだけど、なんで？こんなのと一緒にいたって楽しくないでしょ？
Did you just call me this thing? Can you not call me a thing to my face? At the very least, try not to point for emphasis. You managed to bruise my feelings a bit. What little feelings I have.
まあ、パパと一緒にいたいってのが一番の理由なんだけど、他にもアルバイトとかあるし、リンゴの苗の水やりとか、ザリガニの世話とかもあるしな。
Makina's actually got a lot more on her plate than we realize. Well, now she does. Back then, nope.
京都は去年経験したので、今年はパパと初めての夏を過ごします。
Still can't believe Amine just called me a thing. The fuck?
大丈夫なのかな。あんたご飯とかどうするの？
Well, I'll just buy her some some frozen TV dinners.
大丈夫。パン焼きマシーンもあるし、パン食べ放題なのよ。
But Makina, you need to eat more than just bread. That's some carbs right there, but
パンだけじゃダメでしょ。ちゃんと栄養も考えないと。もう何か日持ちするおかずでも作ってから行こうかしら。
maybe make like a whole summer's worth of fucking meals before you leave. It'll be fine. I'm gonna take care of the cooking.
つうか、あんた料理できんの？なんか豆ばっかり食ってるイメージが。
Can Yuji actually cook? I didn't know that was a thing. All he does is eat beans. Not to worry. I'll get some pumpkins in there as well. A human being won't die as long as they got beans and pumpkins to eat.
あとパンもな。あ、かぼちゃパンでも焼いてみる？やべ、うまそうじゃね？
Oh, pumpkin bread is so fucking good.
なんか心配。マキナが行かないなら、私も行くのやめようかな。
Aww, what? You can't have fun without little Makina?
心配すんなって。割と何でも器用にやってみせるから大丈夫なのよさ。行ってくるがいい。そしてお土産は生じゃないやつし買ってきて。お抹茶味のやつ。
Hold on. Yatsushashi crackles. Got him.
あんた本当に硬いもの好きよね。
Does it mean she'd like jawbreakers and shit? I'm a traditionalist myself. Give me some of the default cinnamon flavored ones. Yeah, that's what I want.
わかったわよ。ちゃんとお土産買ってくるから、マキナはちゃんと宿題やるのよ。
Ooh, can't promise you that's gonna happen.
ユージはちゃんとマキナに宿題やらせるのよ。
I just said I can't make any promises, okay? Yes.
わかってんのかな？私がいなくなっても遊んでばっかりいちゃダメなんだからね。
This is like mommy going on a big fucking trip and will not see her for like a month.
いなくなるって言っちゃやだよ。あまねちゃんと帰ってくるのよ。帰ってこなかったらあまねがどこへ行っても必ず探し出して迎えに行くからね。
She would straight up Liam Neeson you, except without the killing you part.
ストーカーみたいなこと言わないの。ちゃんと帰ってくるから。
Makina can be a little stalker. She could be whatever she wants. Get you bug, you sweetheart. You so cute. No need to drag out the farewells then. Yokohama Shinkansen leaves at 8:50, right? You're gonna miss the train unless you get a move on. Come on, chop chop!
じゃあ行ってくるね。
Very well. Makina, we will now send off Amane on her journey to the capital with 3 hearty cheers.
そうよ。そうあまねくんの出発を祝して万歳万歳万歳
Hip hip, hooray!
やめてよ。恥ずかしいじゃない。
You're mommy. You're supposed to be embarrassed by your child. and also the opposite. And so, Hamane finally turns and runs up the stairs toward the station's ticket gate, fleeing our largely meaningless farewell salute. So I look up at the sky again. While I certainly appreciated the value of Amane's contribution to our well-being, I assumed her temporary absence wouldn't have any particular serious effects on our lives. To be honest, that casual attitude was partly the product of stubborn pride. I got along just fine by myself, didn't I? Yeah, but now you gotta take care of Makina. But once the woman was actually gone, it didn't take 30 minutes for the first problems to begin surfacing. Oh no, what? Hey Makina, how old are the eggs in this fridge? Oh Jesus!
そんなこと聞かれても私が産んだわけじゃないのよさ。
I could just check the expiration date, but fuck that. I'd hope not.
2、3日で腐るものでもないし、アマネはいっつも奥に新しい卵を入れるから、手前から使ってきゃオッケーじゃね？
So if we use the back ones, we'll be fine. I see.
それよりおトイレの紙がもうなくなりそうだけど、替えはどこにあんのよさ。
Ugh, crap. We can't live without toilet paper. What was it again? I do remember buying some, so we should have plenty in stock.
アマネは何でもしまっちゃう女だから、きっとどっかにしまい込んでるのよさ。
It might be in her room somewhere. Like where? I don't see anywhere to hoard things in this room.
階段の下かも。ほら、この部屋の向かいにある階段の下の小部屋。別名、アマネ倉庫。
The Amane warehouse. Amane warehouse?
アマネはティッシュとかトイレットペーパーとか缶詰とかスーパーで安売りしてるととりあえず買ってアマネ倉庫に放り込んでおく癖があんのよさ。
So she's just a compulsive buyer whenever it comes to things on sale? Like real good sales. We already knew that though.
ペットボトルのお水とかも50リットルぐらいしまい込んでるのよ。
50 liters! Mother of God! We could use that while we're doing our teaching you to be a little soldier. Sounds like a pretty decent emergency stockpile.
基本的に貧乏症なのよさ。クッキーの箱の包装紙とかリボンとかまで取っておくタイプな。お、貧乏症で思い出した。
Makina promptly sticks her head into the fridge and starts rooting around in search of something.
あったあった。これこれ。
The fuck did you just grab? What's that supposed to be? The semi-transparent Tupperware container in Makina's hand is stuffed to the brim with a yellowish, powdery substance.
ほら、前にアマネーがかぼちゃのスープ作ったでしょ。これはジューサーで絞ったかぼちゃの絞りかすなのよさ。
Okay. What? Who bothers to save that stuff?
そんなものとは何ですか。かぼちゃは皮の部分が一番栄養があるのよ。それを捨てるなんてとんでもない。
I mean, the skin on anything is the most nutritional part, but pumpkin skin? My apologies, but what are you planning to use it for? She could use it for pumpkin bread, maybe.
もちろんパン生地に練り込んでかぼちゃパンを作ります。お昼はこれにしようぜ。あとさっきの八つ橋の話で思いついたんだけど、シナモンロールも作ろう。
Okay, but you're gonna make all of it. I'm just gonna chill back and watch you make things. Talking about, oh shit, I gotta say it. Yatushashi got you in the mood for something with cinnamon?
そういうことな。じゃ、早速パン生地を。
Let's fucking roll that dough. Hold on, Makina. Take a look at the clock.
おお、9時な。そろそろアマネは新幹線乗った頃かしら。
Mayhaps yourself. Look at the other wall.
レフト、ライト、ジャッカス。
Wrong. I point to a large piece of paper hanging on the wall. The word summer vacation schedule scrawled across the top in Makina's handwriting.
なんだ？スケジュールってのは新種の羊毛？
You wrote it, stupid! Oh my god. Playing dumb isn't much good when you're the one who wrote the damn thing. 9 in the morning is homework time, right?
宿題つってもアマネが勝手にやっときなさいって言ってるだけで、別に学校で出た宿題じゃないのよ。
I feel like you're lying. I feel like you're a sack of shit lying to me right now. True enough, and Amane's not around, so I guess it's all good.
そうそう。
Then we just slap her. Were you seriously expecting me to say that? Idiot!
そげん怒らんでもよかろうもん。
You get in there, you get in this chair and fucking do your goddamn homework. If you're thinking I'm gonna be a soft touch compared to Amane, you got another thing coming. I feel like I'd be maybe slightly stricter. I don't know anymore. You decided this schedule yourself, so I want to see you at least pretending to follow it.
振りだけでいいの？
Not like you'll learn anything if I force you to study when you don't want to, but at the very least make yourself sit in front of a desk at a set time every day and pretend to study. Again, I don't study. Once that becomes habit, your brain will start waking up all on its own when the time comes. You'll be able to focus intently and get a great deal done in a short amount of time.
本当に？
There's no point in trudging along through your textbooks for hours on end. 1 hour is just about the right for a study session. Give it a try and you'll see.
なんかうまく騙されているような気がする。
He's got the right way to quote study. Whoop. Set aside a specific time every day for focused, undistracted study. I learned the simple technique from my big sister. Apart from her school subjects, she could consistently produce outstanding results in virtually anything with nothing more than an hour or so of daily review. And once I adopted her study method, I managed to maintain a fairly respectable academic standing in my own right. When you get used to studying in brief chunks, you naturally start challenging yourself, pushing to see how far you can actually get within the limited time you have. Sometimes you'll look back after the hour's finish and be stunned at how much you accomplished. Ooh. And so, starting off with a quintessentially, there we go. Thanks for working, brain. Japanese, just for show attitude. Makina sits before her homework problems and pretends to ponder them. But as her style of pretending is pretty superficial, it amounts to little more than a childish parody of real studying. Her pen doesn't move an inch.
No.
Just moaning in a vaguely appropriate way doesn't really count, you know. At least try to use your head.
振りって意外とめんどくさいのよさ。
Realizing that is step one. I mean, the world would be overflowing with geniuses if you could get smarter with no effort, right? Guess it's all for the best, though. Not like a super high IQ does much but make life harder.
それはなんとなくわかるような気もするのよさ。
I mean, we already know Makina's smart as fuck, so...
でもそう思える人は寂しい人なんじゃないかなってそう思うのよ。
You're talking like you actually know something about this.
まあな、これでも一応あれよ。子供の頃は神童って呼ばれてたのよ。
That's what I was saying. We already know Makina's like super smart. She's just really, really derpy. Right, I think I sort of know where you're coming from. People labeled prodigies and geniuses often come off as a little broken in the head.
パパは笑わないんだね。
Well, internally, yes. What?
私が昔神童だったって言っても笑わないのね。
Didn't you hear me? I can't understand what you mean. I don't have any first-hand experience, but my hyper-competent big sister fell into a similar category. Children labeled prodigies have their hands full just meeting the expectations of those around them, and their brilliance earns resentment and jealousy from peers. At best, they end up walled off by their own exceptional statuses. As my sister often said, once they've set you apart, you're left with no choice. You can struggle to stay a genius, or you could play the fool and become a clown. And come to think of it, it's easy to imagine that where my sister chose the former option, Makina went the latter. You know what's really stupid, though? I took an IQ test at some point, and I'm actually labeled genius. And I'm like, that's fucking bullshit. I mean, you don't have to pretend to be an idiot around me, you know.
それはちょっと私を買いかぶりすぎなのよ。正直な話、バカのふりを続けるうちに 自分でもどっちの自分が本当の自分なのかよくわかんなくなってきてるのよさ。
Oh, we'll find the real you again.
パパはどっちの私がいい？
I just want you to be you. I mean, I'm used to you being this, so I guess I like you the way you are. Well, not that I want you to keep acting like a fucking idiot or doofus, but there's a lot I like about you right now.
例えば？
Well, you're derpy. Let's see. For example, the way you're earnest and proactive about everything. The way you never give up on something without even trying. These last few weeks, I've deliberately said some pretty absurd things to Makina. Made some unreasonable demands. Even so, the girl gives everything a try. She's eager to discover new things she can do, and willing to work hard at things she can't yet manage. And when she does succeed at a task she's struggling with, she comes running right over to me with a face full of pride, fishing for compliments. And at the end of the day, the girl might just want my praise and respect. But it hardly matters. Why does it? When I pat her on the head and say, "You did well," and see her squint like a contented kitten. Mysteriously enough, I find myself thinking, alright, what should I teach her next? Almost like an affectionate parent. Dun 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 dun. I find that more than a little strange, but I can't deny it makes me happy as well. I'm willing to bet my master felt something similar when she adopted me. Looking at it from that angle, this make-believe game seems almost like a karmic mission pressed on me by fate. It's a slightly creepy thought, but there's also something fulfilling about it. I definitely like having you around, and I think you're cute the way you are. But that doesn't mean I'm okay with you being a clown for the rest of your life. I want to make that clear.
まあね、私もずっとこのままじゃいられないってのは分かってるのよ。でも勉強したところで何が変わるの？っていうか、なんで勉強なんかしなきゃいけないのかな。
I can't tell you because I don't study. Let's see. In your case, the fact that you're already pretty comfortable financially might be the biggest problem. The most compelling reason to study is probably when it's a step forward to some lucrative future or dream career. Yep, that's exactly why. I mean, there's a few people that actually study to learn, just to learn. That's rare. People mostly study, go to school, do all that stuff because they have the hope, they have the dream, they have the promise of a job or some big thing they can do later down the line. You know? I mean, once you've decided what you want to do with your life, reading textbooks isn't exactly crucial. Like, if you're determined to become a pianist, you can focus entirely on studying the piano and ignore the rest. Fuck the rest. Well, that's something of an extreme example, granted. Point is, it doesn't so much matter what you're learning. If you're really determined to become a concert pianist, for example, the piano becomes a lens through which you can see everything else. By engrossing yourself in the piano, you can gain a rich, broad understanding of the world. The kind of deep knowledge you'd never pick up from thumbing indifferently through textbooks. People can get myopic, of course. The difference between the word specialist and the term idiot savant is the difference between seeing the world through your field of vision and mistaking your field for the world itself. Peering through the lens I picked up from my master, I got a pretty decent feel for the way things work out there. As I learned, every scope you can pick offers its own unique perspective. Gazing through your chosen lens helps shape your values and defines you as a person. Makina, do you have, I don't know, any dreams? Something you want to be when you grow up, that sort of thing? I mean, you're almost there. You just...
そうね。今んところパン屋さんが狙撃兵ぐらいかな。
Well, you're not lacking in variety, at least. You got a vaguely warm world of a baker, soothing people's souls through their taste buds, and a cold sniper tracking a distant target with death in their eyes. When it comes to common ground, I guess they're both occupations requiring a lot of stoic behind-the-scenes effort. Well, I'm feeling a little dubious about Makina's future planning right now, As a parent, I should be trying to leave as many paths open to her as possible. And considering my role as her master, I feel obliged not to laugh in her face. That said, what exactly am I supposed to do for her right now? That's a lot less clear. Glancing down at my watch, I find the dial reading 10 a.m. Alright, that's an hour. We're done studying.
まだ何もしてないのに。
If you're unhappy over wasting an hour of your life, why not use that time a little more proactively tomorrow? Keep at it and take baby steps. That's how you form a lasting habit. I turned to the copy of Makina's schedule on the wall. The next block of the day has the words playtime scribbled next to it in sloppy letters. Seems we have some recreation next, but I have to say, doesn't the schedule have a great deal of playtime on it?
バイトのない日なんてそんなもんなのよさ。つうわけなんで遊んでよパパ。
Alright, time for more training. Again with this. Play what?
パパは前の学校にいた時何して遊んでたの？
I used to play shooting. No. I don't think I recall a lot of playing in general. I'd gotten used to a way of life where extracurricular activities were limited to eating and sleeping. So my off days were usually some combination of napping, reading books, and studying. As for the guys around me, it was all cards, ponies, or boats. Ponies? Alright. The rare outliers were the ones who opted for bikes or motorcycles instead. And I'm not about to ask the girl, ponies or poker. In the first place, I only went to the races or casinos when they forced me to tag along on a group outing. Oh, ponies as in horse racing. Got it. In my old school, you needed to submit an application to leave the grounds on your day off. Without a stamped authorization card, they wouldn't even let you step out the gate.
おお、なんか面倒なのな。
Oh, trust me, it was a big pain in the ass. And it was indeed. There were a bunch of people who didn't get out much, myself included.
じゃあパパは今年の夏休みもずっと寮で過ごすの？
No. I'm planning to visit a grave for one thing.
お墓？誰の？
My master's in Yamanashi. Need to clean it up and all that.
いつ行くの？
Haven't decided, but sometime before the Bond Festival. Figured I'd set a welcoming fire.
じゃあ今日行こうよ。
Today? The fuck? Why to?
今から私お弁当作ってあげる。
I think we need to do some more planning before. To be certain, it seems a little more constructive than hanging around the dorm aimlessly, and I did give JB advance warning of my plans. It's a little sudden, but you know what? I don't see why not. Fuck it. I take my private cell phone from my breast pocket, navigate to the number marked JB, and press the call button.
はい。
The phone rings several times before JB picks up. Her voice oozes with the bleary displeasure of an overworked public servant pulled out of bed by a telemarketer. Were you sleeping?
ここのところ面倒な仕事が多くてね。少し仮眠していただけよ。要件は何？
That voice does give me that. The fuck you want? It's about that trip to Asako's grave. I decided to go today.
また急ね。日にちが決まったなら3日前には報告してって言っておいたでしょ。
There's been a change of plans. You understand change of plans, right? Thing is, when I woke up this morning, Asako was standing at my bedside with a bitterly resentful look on her face, cursing me for not visiting her grave. I burst into tears and said, "You got it all wrong. It's all JB's fault." But she didn't seem to buy it.
ちょっとなんで私のせいにしてるのよ。
I kind of blame you for most things recently. And by recently, not really, but... JB, you were just sleeping yourself, right? Tell me, has Asako's spirit paid you a visit yet?
やめてよ。私そういうの嫌いなんだから。
In any case, I've got to visit Asako's grave ASAP. Give me permission to leave the prefecture.
わかったわよ。許可は出してあげるから、利用する交通機関と途中立ち寄り先を記載した行動予定表をメールで送ってちょうだい。
that is a lot of bullshit paperwork that I have to do for this. Affirmative.
まさかまた何日もかけて歩いていくつもりじゃないでしょうね。
No, this time I'll be using conventional public transport. Halfway through the sentence, I happen to notice Amine's helmet lying in the corner of the... Oh, Jesus. Am I gonna just fucking use her motorcycle? Hold on. Actually, I think I'll get there on my own power after all.
走っていく気？
No, I'll go by motorbike.
バイク？誰の？
Mine now. I'm borrowing Amine's.
交通違反したり事故なんか起こしたりしたら大問題よ。電車にしなさいよ。
Just like... You think Amine would get mad? How many times do I have to tell you that I can't stand trains?
だったら許可しないと言っても聞かないんでしょうね、あなたは。
This is like one of those games that even just him saying I don't like trains probably has something fucking big in as to why in his story. It's one of those fucking stories. Glad to see you understand the nature of the situation. Give me the go ahead.
使用する車体のナンバープレートと車体番号、それと自賠責保険の番号をメールしてちょうだい。わかった？
Got it. I'll send that before I leave. Alright then.
あまねえのボバ太郎で行くの？
But what the fuck did you just call it? Babataro?
あまねえのバイクの名前。
The shit? She gave it a name? Oh, yeah, that's right. Amine did say I could use it at any time. Did she? I don't remember that. Figured I might as well take the chance to ride for the first time in a while. She did insure the thing properly, yes?
わかんねえ。
So why would you ask Makina? She doesn't know? Can I call Amine up real quick? The documents would probably be with the vehicle itself, I guess. Let's take a look. Let's take a look-see. After finding a motorcycle key engraved with the letter K among numerous other dangling on a hook by the door inside Amine's room, Mike and I head to the parking lot near the courtyard. What? This also is probably super significant. Amine does talk about this bike every once in a while, but I've never actually seen her riding it. In fact, although I've noticed a likely looking vehicle sitting under a cover in the lot, I've never actually cast my eyes on the beast itself. Amine once said, I'm not sure what the name was, but Kawasaki 250, I guess? Oh, that's probably why the K is a thing. So at first I'd picture some sporty touring model with a parallel twin engine. But then again, Shizuru described it as a chopper that wouldn't look out of place in American biker gang. So just what do we have here? Brace myself for anything. I tear off the cover dramatically. What the fuck? And still, the very first words out of my mouth are a simple expression of disbelief. Even before I removed the tarp, I had a feeling something was off. For a general commercial model, the thing was just too short and too long. And indeed, the vehicle under the sheet is no mere motorcycle. It's a genuine hot rod, ridiculously low set, modified so violently that I can't even guess what the original model was. This is ridiculous. Looks like they cut it apart with a blowtorch and saw, then mashed it back together. And the rear suspension's ludicrously short. Can't even remember the last time I saw a lowrider like this. From just a glance, I can tell the frame's been cut at the neck, then elongated with a new weld at a different angle. And the conventional seat rail seems to have been chopped off entirely, replaced by a small tandem seat sitting demurely on top of a tacked-on flat rear fender. Hell, even the main saddle's been replaced with a cruiser seat. I'd been expecting to find the documents in the storage space under the seat, which clearly doesn't exist anymore. For a moment, I just stare at the hacked-together monstrosity in astonishment. It's not that familiar with the genre, but I guess it's the sort of motorcycle you'd call old school. Do we get to see it at some, actually visually see it? This really is the sort of thing you could picture us in some American biker gang riding gang brain. That said, the delinquents over there are all riding super sports or power cruisers these days. The only people who really appreciate the classic American style anymore are old men with beer bellies and the Japanese.
ああ、久しぶりに見たのよさ。
Tell me, Makina, you have any idea where she stashed the papers?
うん、多分そこ。他に入れるとこないし。
Makina points out a inconspicuous leather tool bag hanging off the side of the motorcycle, secured at the fastener with a small padlock. Alright. There had been a small key I couldn't identify on the same ring as the motorcycle key. Guess that must be for the bag. Let's see, the papers are... Oh, ooh, there we go. After removing the lock, I begin rifling through the contents of the cylindrical bag. Sifting through a minor assortment of tools, I discover a sheaf of papers rolled up in a plastic tube. Owner Suamane, got that. We got the VIN, license plate, and the compulsory insurance. Looks like it's good through April next year. We're good! Damn, she's even got supplementary insurance with a rider covering a passenger. Damn!
まあ、あまねはそういうとこしっかりしてるからな。
Makina, we're fucking set. We should learn from her example. Alright then, looks like there won't be any issues using this.
そうな。あとの問題は動くのかってことなのよさ。
Oh, I'm sure it's gonna move. What?
ここんとこあんまし調子が良くないらしいのよ。最近は全然乗っていなかったし。
Maybe there's a reason that's not because it's broken. Well, when you chop it up and sew it back together like Frankenstein's monster, it's hardly surprising the thing gets a little cranky.
じゃあ、ボバ太郎のことは任せるのよさ。私はお弁当の準備を始めるのよ。
Just doesn't start, we just kick it. Works. Fucking sweet. I'll take care of it. That said, easy enough to talk big, but what's the deal with this thing? I can't even tell what it used to be before they started hacking away at it. Looking at the papers, it seems like the base was an off-road motorcycle. More precisely, a dual-purpose trail bike that could handle messing around in the dirt. But the motor model doesn't match the vehicle type. Did they swap in an engine from a totally different motorcycle? This is ridiculous. Hell, where do you even put the key into this thing? There's nothing that looks like an ignition cylinder on the top of the bridge. After repeatedly looking over both sides of the frame, I finally discover the keyhole's been relocated under the main seat on the right. What the fuck? Inserting the key, I give it an exploratory half turn to the right. And in the custom mini meter wedged on the left of the tank, the green neutral light and red oil light blink to life. Battery seems to be good. I reach out to the right handle and feel around for the starter switches, but they aren't where I expect them to be either. Looking more carefully at the engine, the self-starter motor seems to have been removed completely. The hole's plugged up with a black rubber stopper. It's a kick? Fighting down a wave of irritation, I look over the right side of the frame and find the kickstart lever. It's unusually shaped. Looks like custom ordered. Probably designed to keep the brake from getting in the way when you're kicking down to start it. Wait, is this thing forward on the left and mid-control on the right? What the... I guess I should be grateful they didn't throw on a suicide clutch while they were at it. Probably because the rear brake is a cable-pulling drum type, the pedal's positioned further back compared to the shift lever on the left side. Seems like it's a little weird. I mean, once the thing gets up to speed, you'll be just resting on your right foot on the forward peg anyway. But having to move your leg all the way back to get the brake is even more disconcerting. In any case, let's see how the engine runs. I flip open the cap on the carelessly unlocked tank and find plenty of gasoline inside. And within seconds, I can see volatilizing petrol shimmering in the summer sunshine. Looks as though the fuel's still good. After switching the petlock valve under the tank from off to on, I pull the choke plunger on the carbonator halfway out. Then put my foot in the kickstart and lightly press around the lever in search of a top dead center. The moment I discover the point of greatest resistance, I give it a good hard kick. Oh, ooh, that was easy. Considering how long the vehicle's just been sitting here neglected, the motorcycle starts up so easily that it actually feels like it's a bit of an anticlimax. A vehicle this heavily customized is normally a bit more ornery. Was Omni actually keeping this thing maintained all the time it's been sitting here? Oh, probably. Guaranteed. Just as I'm feeling good about the admiration of its owner, there's a strange little sneeze from the motorcycle's exhaust pipe, and its vigorously idling engine abruptly stops. Oh, well, fuck. I take back what I said about you, Omni. Well, I figured it wouldn't be that easy. I give the kick pedal another vigorous step, but this time it doesn't even cough. There's no sign of ignition even engaging. You gotta be kidding me. Battered by the blazing summer sun, lukewarm sweat trickling heavily down my forehead, I mash down the kick lever again and again. The neutral light's still on, so the electronics are still functioning. The battery's small MF type designed to power mopeds and scooters, but with a kickstart, that should be more than enough. Even though the electrical system's fine, we're not getting a spark, and the engine did start once, just a minute ago, which would mean $10, says the CDI's on the fritz. Capacitor discharge ignition, or CDI for short. It's a generic term for an electronic device that controls the ignition of an engine. Among the extremely simple mechanical parts of a typical motorcycle engine, it stands out as a comparatively advanced piece of electronics. Because of this complexity, it's not uncommon for it to malfunction, especially given its position in a rough environment of high heat and constant vibration. Sometimes it'll just abruptly stop working entirely. Damn it, where's the fucking CDI? Peering under the tank, I find the ignition coil and follow it along the harness. No, that's the turn signal relay. And this is the headlight reboot. Okay, where's this thing? The fuse box? The fuse isn't even blown. God damn it, it's hot! Up! A black puddle of sweat forms on the ground beside me as I squat next to the bike. CDI, where's that damn CDI? After a good 10 minutes of groping along the harness, I finally notice an inconspicuous side cover just below the seat of the left side. After removing it, I discover a square black object sitting next to the regulator rectifier. Found it! There you are, you little bastard. Carefully removing the coupler connecting the CDI to the harness, I intensely scrutinize the little black box, but there's no visual evidence of it being damaged. Then again, it's not exactly the sort of part you can reliably assess by eyeballing. Reaching my thumb around behind the plastic cover, I gently rub the electronic guts of the unit through their protective coat of epoxy resin. When the CDI is keeping your engine from starting, this will often be enough to bring it back to life. Of course, that's really just a temporary stopgap measure, not a resolution of the fundamental problem. But if this does get the engine firing again, that would confirm the CDI is responsible. Reattaching the freshly massaged piece of electronics to its coupler, I press down firmly on the kick pedal once more. Ah, there you go, told you, asshole. I really was the CDI. Hand over that 10. As I vent my spleen on some vaguely defined imagery foe, Omni's motorcycle, Babataro, springs back to life immediately and proceeds to rumble pleasantly away underneath me. I gotta say though, this thing's pretty noisy. Well, look at it! It's a monstrosity! I'll take this sort of growling over high-pitched shrieking any day, but if I gotta get this thing going and drive past some elementary school, it'd be definitely loud enough to get the kids grimacing and covering their ears with their hands. Oh well, guess I'll have to stuff some steel wool or something in the exhaust pipe to shut the hell up. I just watch over the thing as it idles for a while, but the engine doesn't seem inclined to sputter off again. Maybe the CDI itself wasn't the issue. The contact with the coupler might just have been off. Temporarily stopping the engine, I check the oil and lights, then move on to testing the front and rear brakes. All good. But when I finally get around to looking at the air pressure on the tires, oh god damn it, are you serious? It's flat! Am I going to have to change a tire in this heat? Oh, cut me a damn break already. Sighing heavily, I lean my head back and gaze up to the sky. Within seconds, I can feel the tip of my nose scorching under the blazing sunlight. I'm sorely tempted to just say fuck it. But after all this effort, giving up and going by train would be seriously galing in its own right. galling. This right here might take some time. Muttering an excuse to no one in particular, I decide to temporarily return to my room to rehydrate myself. For a moment, I'm seriously tempted to take the wheel off entirely and lug it back to my bathroom to patch up. But unfortunately, it doesn't prove to be anything quite that serious. When I start pumping air back in the tire, it inflates back up normally, and the pancake on the bottom disappears completely in a matter of minutes. Good! Why is that tube tires always manage to lose their air just sitting in a parking lot? While this minor mystery nags at me somewhat, by the time 11 rolls around, we've successfully readied everything we need for our trip. Fucking cool! Alright, are all preparations for the departure complete?
お弁当よーし、携帯電話の充電よーし、飲料水確保よーし、健康保険証持参よーし、出発準備すべてよろーし。
Good fucking job, Private Makina. Excellent. The time is currently 1100 hours. We're beginning the operation. All personnel embark! And here, I guess, straddling Babataro like a bold general swinging onto his warhorse, I deposit Makina in the tandem seat and make her firmly grab onto my shoulders. Then kick the bike into first gear with the tip of my left foot and slowly squeeze the clutch lever to the handle. Oh! Nope, looks like it's gonna be another hot one. You did put on sunscreen, right?
バッチリなのよ。ちゃんと日焼け止めクリームも持ってきたから塗り直しもできるのよさ。
Well, we actually get to see the bike. As we begin to leisurely putter along the coastal road in the direction of the Yamanashi prefecture, Maki and I talk through the two-way FM radio we used for our sniper games, now hooked up to the throat mics for freehand operation.
パパ、運転上手ね。あまねの後ろ乗ってるより怖くないかも。あんましスピードも出てないし。
Well, Makina's gonna kill everyone with her driving, so... You think? I mean, what kind of idiot would start roaring around on the bike like this? If a tire loses a little air, your your levers will be all dragging around on the ground. A low center of gravity is nice, but this is ridiculous. I've never driven a motorcycle this bizarrely low to the ground before, but just leisurely gliding along the wake of the car ahead doesn't feel that bad. That said, I can't help thinking its overall lack of power and weak maneuverability is going to be an issue once we get on those steep mountain roads. Well, let's just take it slow and easy.
パパもあまねもいいな。免許持ってて、こうやって好きな時に好きなとこ行けてさ。
Well, you're almost there, Makina. Don't worry about it. You're old enough to get a license yourself, Makina. Why don't you take the test? I was about to say, wait a minute. I thought she was old enough for that.
私も前にあまねにそう言ったのよ。免許取りたいって。そしたら危ないからダメって。自分は乗ってるくせによ。あいつどんだけ事故中だよ。
She doesn't want you to, like, be derpy and end up dying on the road or something. She's protective of you. Well, guess I can sort of understand how she feels. It's easy to picture Makina hopping on a moped or something, shouting, "Okay, then I'm going out to play," and tottering off into the distance. At which point you'd be sitting by the phone, biting your nails, waiting for a call from some hospital or the police. But when you snatch away something from a child and tell them it's dangerous, they'll go to any lengths to play with it behind your back. Personally, I feel it's better to just let them learn under your strict supervision. But maybe that's a testosterone-infused way of thinking about it.
私にもこれ乗れるかな。
This is advanced stuff, so probably not. Let's see, the way you balance, turn, and stop are all pretty much similar to a bike, so I don't think it'd be impossible for you to learn. But unlike Amine, you're short and have stubby little legs. Might be a little tricky for you if you for you to just get the hang of it right
や
now.
っぱ無理。
And that's a no. For starters, let's stick to practicing on your bike. Maybe next time we can try some gymkhana in the parking lot at school.
何それ。
It's the ideal game for learning the most fundamental part of operating a two-wheeled vehicle. Shifting your body weight while controlling the contact patch and load on your tires. You compete for the best time on the obstacle course.
なんか面白そうね。
I know, right? Sounds pretty fun to me. You'll fall off constantly until you get used to it, you know. I know I did.
ちなみにパパは初めてオートバイに乗ったのっていつ？
Back in the dark times. When I was 14, I think. Drove around on the private land up in the mountains where I was living with my master. Right. She started me off by making me climb onto this full-size dirt bike she used to ride, and my legs weren't even close to reaching the ground. So I'd have to reach up and squeeze the clutch with one foot and on the gear shift, then swing up onto the seat only after the thing started moving. Getting it started wasn't a picnic, but stopping was just as much of a pain. I had a choice between decelerating as much as possible before jumping down on the brake, or stopping myself manually with my foot pressed against some stone or tree. Looking back on it now, it's pretty impressive that I managed to ride that thing at all.
そうだった。やっぱり最初は怖かった。
I'm never scared of anything. I've been riding bicycles for a long time, so I don't remember being particularly scared. After all, I wasn't trying to pull any death-defying stunts. Compared to the terror I'd experienced previously, it probably didn't even register. Come to think of it, I didn't feel particularly afraid the first time I took my master's place in the field either. Even after finishing the job, returning home, and completing my report, when she asked, "Were you scared?" I honestly answered no. Hell, it almost felt like I had fun. But when night came and there was nothing left to do but take a bath and go to sleep, I found myself holding my dick over the toilet bowl, completely unable to piss. A small twinge of doubt ran through me, and I finally noticed that my hands were shaking, as the tension finally drained out of me like a string removed from a bow. I was seized by terror so intense I thought I might never stop shaking. I casually, almost thoughtlessly, slipped by a situation where one wrong step could have meant death. Mixed in with the fear was a wave of thankfulness for my sheer dumb luck. I was fortunate today, but the dice might very well fall differently next time. With that thought, the shaking grew stronger. Even now I can vividly remember the horror I felt that night. But after experiencing that fear again and again, I guess you could say I obtained the ability to control fear itself. Or maybe I just gained a nose for danger, and instinctively avoid it. When you get right down to it, I think it might just be a matter of experience and caution. Put in enough hours to develop the foresight to see trouble coming ahead of time, and you'll be completely fine. You're at greatest risk when you start thinking, "I'm on top of my game today, bring it on!" Basically, don't get too carried away or you'll end up taking a fall. That pretty much sums up riding a motorcycle. I already explained this with the bicycle last time, but any vehicle is safe enough as long as you stay aware of your surroundings and give yourself a generous margin of error.
なるほど。つまり通常5割、急いで7割ってやつな。怖いと感じた時はすでに8割を超えている。怖いと感じる一歩手前を意識するのがベストな。
There you go, Makina. And you're remembering everything I tells you. Yeah, you got the idea. Incidentally, right now I'm going at about half my baseline pace.
今何キロ出てるの？
Don't know how much I can trust the mini-meter wedged on the different company's bike, but roughly 50 kilometers per hour.
なるほど。もうちょい速くてもいいかなってスピードの一歩手前なのよさ。
Yep. Given the speed and following distance, even if the guy in front of us spills a hot coffee on his pants and smashes into the guardrail, we wouldn't have any problem dealing with the situation.
安全が一番速いってそういうことな。やっぱ私も免許取ろうかな。
Maybe. What's it like driving a motorcycle anyway? Posed this question by Maki and I briefly paused to consider. Do you remember the day for your first day you rode a bike? For Makina, it was practically just the other day, so I'm sure she remembers it vividly. The feelings it inspired might not have even faded away completely. On the day you learned to ride a bike, the day you pedaled alone down an unfamiliar road for the first time, didn't it feel like the world had suddenly grown larger around you? This world's an endless road that can take you anywhere at all. And that bicycle could carry you much, much further than your weak little legs. The first day, did you ask yourself, just how far can I go? The first day I rode a motorcycle, that open question was replaced with something that I felt like an answer. I can go wherever the hell I want. You're damn right we can. That's what a motorcycle is. You understand what I'm saying?
わかんねえ。もうちっと簡単に説明して。
I like this background though. Look at it. We're literally just I don't know. You can go where you want, stop where you want, even just ride along with no distant destination at all if you want. That's what a motorcycle is.
それは簡略しすぎて、かえってわかりにくいのよさ。
How's that hard to understand? You literally go wherever you want. I consult my watch to discover it's already 1 in the afternoon. As if on cue, Makina begins complaining about her grumbling stomach. So I pull over at some random in a suitable spot and lay out our plastic picnic sheet for a late lunch. The lunch boxes Makina prepared were, as she had declared earlier, packed primly with freshly baked cinnamon rolls and pumpkin bread. According to Makina, making these required comparatively little effort on her part, as the bread machine took care of the primary fermentation. But that said, the taste is nothing to scoff at. The girl claims that anyone with a bread maker and a functional brain could achieve such results. I'm slightly moved to learn that we're living in an era where even amateurs can produce bread of this caliber, but at the same time, I feel as though I've caught a glimpse of dark clouds gathering on the horizon for the baking industry.
パパ、あそこにいっぱい生えてる背の低い木はブドウの木？
You know, Makina, this is nice. We're actually out on the road. We're heading off to the grave, but on the road we can just chill and have a good old time with each other. Not in that sort of way, you fucking weirdos. God, it just...